talk about some fun stuff. Anyway, I think it's fun. Now, let me have a drink out of my water. Is it still fun? Now, just for the benefit of those of you that haven't met me, I just want to introduce myself and tell you a little bit of my background. I don't have a social media business as such, so I don't want you to get the wrong idea. However, you'll figure out why I'm talking on this topic on the next couple of slides. So I run 3 businesses. I've got Ultimate Weight Loss, lose the last 10 kilos, and Ultimate Business Edge, create products for profit. And both of those businesses are actually licensed businesses in a box, so other people are actually using my system Australia-wide to work with clients on those particular niches. And myself, I enjoy consulting with people around their book writing and programs. So nowadays I choose to do that, and otherwise we've generated a lot of passive income through our businesses in a box. Thirdly, we've got the Ninja Business Chicks brand with Donna, and one of you lucky people will win our Ninja Couch Marketing book, and which I thought was very relevant because we're talking about social media, and this is how we do it all from the couch in our PJs. So I've got a huge background in human behaviour and mindset, and I love working with people and really establishing them to be successful in their lives, whether it's in their bodies or around their health or their businesses. Okay guys, so I'm a bit of a Kim Kardashian when it comes to social media, so these are all the different platforms that are like there, and I want to give you a bit of an analogy about a few of them, what they mean, and I'll give you the going to the toilet kind of examples. That's a lot funny. I was gonna give you the analogy around, eating, but no, going for a pee. So Facebook, when you're on Facebook, you're saying to people, I'm gonna go have a pee. Okay, when you're on LinkedIn, you say, I'm very good at peeing. Okay? Do you get it? Some get it. YouTube is watch me pee. Twitter, I'm peeing right now. That's as far as Pinterest there's a picture of me peeing. Okay, so I'm not obviously knowledgeable on all of these platforms. We're going to cover off my top 3 that I have had success in, and I'll give you my secrets around why it's been successful and how it's been successful. So someone better put the timer on because I could be talking about this for 2 or 3 hours. So when about 8:30 hits, tell me about 8:25, and I'll speed it up because otherwise we could be here till tomorrow morning. I love this stuff. Okay, so this is why I'm talking to you tonight about social media. Back at the start of the year, I generated 6 figures in 6 weeks over social media, and 80% of my business comes through Facebook and LinkedIn. I collected 100 emails from one comment in a LinkedIn group. So I just added some value, and people said, I want more, here's my email addresses. So a great way to just really grow your database. I had 20 international conversations, actually it was only in the last 5 weeks, with people in the US, Canada, South Africa, Dubai, and all the English speaking ones anyway. 38 new prospects through a comment in a forum. So lots of people there, and awesome new friendships and relationships. So why do you think social media nowadays works so well? Instant word of mouth, yeah. Virtual networking. I believe like we're here face to face, but once we leave this room, I trust that you guys will swap business cards and you know what, get on social media and connect with one another, because this is where it all begins. However, the relationship has just begun tonight. It's about then keeping those conversations going and really interacting with people and adding value to people's lives. So it's I have found it to be a way of really organically growing my business and not needing to be really salesy. It's just happened really, really naturally for me. So so why social media? Definitely you can grow your business beyond your local area. You can take it international. I'm still yet to crack that international licensee and client, but I have a lot of prospects in the go because obviously I've spoken to so many people in the last 4 weeks. Getting up really early in the morning is a pain, but the benefits are huge. It's very fast, instant response, and it's so much fun. So it's about interacting with people and making sure that the word social really means that you are actually being social on there. It's a non-threatening way to do business. Who hates the word selling? I mean, I hate it. It's got such a bad stigma. And a lot of people feel uncomfortable about asking for that sale. But on social media, for me especially, it's just happened really naturally. You build relationships long term. So a lot of people think they can get on social media and it's going to start working for them within a month or two. The reason I generated 6 figures in 6 weeks is because I had been building my profile and the way people perceive me for the prior 2.5 years since I started out in business. So it obviously then boomed and it just keeps bringing in lots of new clients nowadays. You get to connect with influential people you normally don't get to connect. So one of my biggest mentors is Terry Hawkins. Has anyone heard of her? Have you? She's a book she's written. There are 2 times in life, now and too late, and she's my Tony Robbins of Australia. And I connected with her. She spoke at a conference about 8 years ago. And Stuart and I used to work for OPSM and Specsavers, and OPSM actually a decade, myself and him 14 years. And she wowed me 8 years ago at this conference because she's a specialist in retail and getting retailers to be more successful. And I saw her book and she kept me captivated for 4 hours. You know, I was just like, oh my God, I want to do what she's doing. And I will get to do what she's doing because I have written now 3 books and I'm following suit. And I connected with her on social media about 8 months ago. No, maybe 12 months ago. And I said to her, this is how we met. You know, you spoke at a conference in front of 1,000 people. I bought your book and all that sort of stuff. And then last year in May, actually, she was coming to Melbourne. And I thought, oh my God, I need to go and meet this woman. But her course was $3,000 and I didn't have the cash flow back then to go to her course. So I inboxed her. I said, Terry, I can't believe you come to Melbourne. This is who I am. I reminded her of who I was. I'd love to come and crew at your event. Because normally when you go to crew at entrepreneurs events, you get to go for free. And I didn't hear from her. And 2 days before the event, she sent me a message back saying, oh my God, Natasha, I missed your message. Here's my mobile number. I want you to come and be part of the training and crew. I got to spend 3 full days with her in a group of 18 people. I got to buy her, what is it, radishes?
Radishes.
Radishes, I remember. I
picked my radishes.
I remember.
She's had some condition she needed radishes for.
Sorry, I've got to jump in here. So 2 people brought her
I
radishes.
was going to tell this.
She asked for radishes. 2 people bothered to do it. Natasha, obviously, literally straight out of the ground, dirt still all over the radishes, stalks and everything on them. Here you go. She was very happy. Next lady, peeled them, sliced them, put them in little things. But she liked Natasha's better.
I don't cook, so that's why I just like go Safeway.
What's her name?
Terry Hawkins. So her website's peopleinprogress.com.au. She's just released a brand new book, so her new book, I can't wait to get it. So yeah, I got to connect with very influential people and actually get to hang out with them because they only want to be where, you know, those people are. I'm definitely striving to be that there, so I surround myself by them. And you get to keep your market up to date with your business, really add value. So for example, with our books, in my first book, I did a pre-launch campaign. I let people know as I was writing it, where I was up to. It was non-salesy. It was just like, hey, I'm doing chapter whatever, and I recorded videos on YouTube and wrote articles and wrote blogs and shared it. So many people knew. Both the Ninja book and my first book, The 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, we covered all our costs in terms of the publishing even before the book came out. So that was all through social media. So many benefits. So tonight I want to take you through some tips that you can implement within your use of Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube. Okay, who likes to video themselves? Yeah? You love it?
I like to watch.
She would hate it.
She would have, you know what I used to do in early days? I had this little recorder and I recorded myself because I couldn't remember what I was saying next. I put a little thing in my ear and Stuart used to put the video on and I would talk to myself and I'd follow what I was saying so I wouldn't and ah because I used to do a lot of ums and ahs. I hope tonight I'm not doing it. You know, I'm good? Okay. But I used to do that and I hate when I in presentations. So I'd have this secretly thing and I'll sit down in the chair. I think I was pregnant, wasn't it? We were doing chapter videos to give people and I was sitting there trying to hide my stomach because this was a weight loss book. They'll just catch me up to here and that if you go on YouTube and look them up, you'll see what I mean. They're still all up there. So once you get used to videotaping yourself on for videos, it just becomes so easy. Now I'm a one-shot girl. Pete came to my house yesterday, and after he left, I said, I've got to do 6 videos, but 3 are 10 minutes, and 3 are for my new website and all that sort of stuff. And don't worry, we'll get it done in 2 hours. And Stuart will tell you, we probably one take on most of them, a couple of takes on the last 2. We're done in 2 hours, and they'll be up and running by tomorrow. And so will these videos right now. So you'll be online. So let's talk about Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube from my perspective, because this is how I've experienced them. And I believe that Facebook is really great for national connections. So people that are in our local areas as well as nationally. Obviously, yes, internationally as well. However, I have found that it's more sort of Australia-wide within how we're connected. Anyone had success with Facebook internationally? Yes? How do you mind sharing how you actually connect with those people?
Yeah. It was a combination of Twitter and Facebook. So I'd meet some people, and I'd niche into certain areas. Like I talked about exhibiting to different people.
Yes.
And then I'd connect with them on Facebook. And there's one particular girl who I then happened to be in India, and she was there, and we caught up. So that kind of stuff. And it's in my industry, in the speaking industry, there are a lot of international people, like to Terry Hawkins, a lot of stuff. And so it's just a matter of contributing to those kind of things. There was a real crossover of Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and so you'll connect on one then the other, and then organise sort of connections, and then you just keep commenting on their streams, and then they comment on yours and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's how I've done it also. I connected with people on LinkedIn, which I'd say is better for international because of all the forums that you can be part of. And then what people do is, then I'll say, are you on Facebook too? Because I like using Facebook more. So then I'll connect with them there, and they've become part of this group that we actually have, and I've introduced them. So it will probably end up expanding with international people as well, but so far, yeah. So yeah, you tend to, if you do connect with people, do look them up on a few different channels, so Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. I'm not a big fan of Stuart's Twitter. Rob's Twitter.
With your Facebook, are you doing profiles or pages or a bit of both, or what?
I use my personal profile.
Right.
As I said, Kim Kardashian, I just share everything, you know. I'm to an extent, and I'm very passionate, and Donna and myself, we actually recorded a whole podcast on this particular topic on Monday for a Ninja podcast, monthly podcast, and behaviour on Facebook is very important, and that's one of the tips that I'll give you towards the end, where we noticed a lot of people vent and are very negative on it, and I will just say, no. Okay, just make sure the perception that you put out there is positive, and all the crap that you're going through, the whole world doesn't need to know. Go on, Donna. I knew you had to say something.
I just want to say one thing when you were saying everyone to connect afterwards. If you don't have your picture on as your profile pic on Facebook, please change it, because you know how hard it is to find you when you've got a picture of a cat or
I know.
How many times I look at people and are looking in these things come up, and you're trying to find the person because it might be a common name. There's a picture of a dog or a cat, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the person or not. Am I sending a friend request to the wrong person?
Yeah, you don't think the dog has the same hair as they would have, because usually that.
It does my head in.
Yeah, very good point.
I don't care if you've got pictures of your dog or your cat or whatever or as your header picture. Just as the profile pic, please use your picture of your face. It's really hard to find you otherwise.
And also, a lot of people have got professional photos that might have been taken 10 years ago.
They look very
nothing like
Yeah.
It's just don't want to let
I like Faye, who's got the most gorgeous photo now. So connect with people that you have mutual connections with. So sometimes to expand your Facebook network, connect with people from time to time that you don't know and start those conversations. So I always say to people, whenever someone friends you or you friend them or become a connection on Facebook, have a template pre-prepared to say, hey, how you going? If they friended you or say they're a connection, how did you find out about me? I say that. Or what was it about my profile that prompted you to connect? That's the one I use on LinkedIn. And I get awesome responses, and I start conversations and, hi, you write really cool stuff, and I've got this ultimate 48-hour little caption. So very important, obviously I've just jumped into LinkedIn, but very important is to make sure that what your title is below your name on LinkedIn is something that's grabbing. Don't put CEO and founder, how boring. Just put put something fun so it gets people's attention. Then my profile, right, let me tell you a story, and then I'll go through everything. And I have lots of recommendations, so I've been cranking up me asking people who've worked with me to actually put a recommendation on LinkedIn. So it's so many testimonials. It's turned into a website by itself. It's really cool. Back to Facebook. Follow up and start conversations. We've covered that. Have ready-made templates used to promote your events. I mean, for these events tonight, this is the only area I actually promote them in. Is in a few groups on the I Am a Business Owning Victoria website. Is that where you found me? Yeah. And we just do our group. So we've got the Ultimate Business Support Group. So if some of you are not on it, get on it. We've got over 500 members. And that's pretty much it. And for my events, for all my webinars, so all of those things that I did earlier this year and I continue to do, it's just purely from using Facebook. And that's just one platform. And definitely post regularly and intend to add value. So when you're actually posting content, I would use the 80-20 rule. 80%, you're humanizing your content. So don't just post about what you're doing in your business. Tell people, show people your family or what's happening in the office or is something coming up. Like, humanize your content. Then post relevant content. So aim to educate people. Because if you go through the educational spectrum, people are going to want to find out more if you keep adding value to people. So that's why I record a lot of videos and lessons and things like that. Because I continue educating people, and one day they go, I'm top of mind, and they go, who do I need to help me with this? And they go, it's Nat. And then they inbox me and we start the conversation going, and off it goes. So my sales process is very much an educational one. And I think this is what the world has come to nowadays. Would you agree? Yeah, it's the educational process. So 5 out of 7 days is the amount that I would recommend.
How many times a day?
Once. And Donna's got a good point as well that she said in the podcast. You want to tell?
About the time.
Yeah.
It's all about understanding when your target market is actually on Facebook. So for example, my target market is stay-at-home mums, and they're not usually on Facebook that much in the middle of the day, they're more up about after 8 p.m. So when I do my posts, I check to see when it's reached the most in my old posts, and I noticed that everything I did at night seemed to get more comments, more reach, more people in it. So now, I do post occasionally throughout the day just to keep my day people going, but I spend a lot more time at night. So, and I get more engagement, more sales that way, because that's where my target market's hanging out. So it's not about doing one post once a day at 9 o'clock every day, because you're missing out on, it could be potentially missing out on a massive group of people. So find out when your target market is on Facebook, and that's when you should concentrate your most amount of time on it.
So yeah, so test and measure. That was a good point she made. I never
I don't
noticed.
have time for that, so can I get a VA to do that?
Yeah,
too?
yes, yeah.
I do it for lots of industries, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, our current mentor is getting us to test and measure all of these kind of things, like what comments are getting, all that sort of stuff. So we're going right down to a lot of detail. Okay, so LinkedIn musts. Okay, so I've said great for national and international connections, and it can work very fast. LinkedIn, sometimes I convert on LinkedIn from 2 messages back and forward. It's just amazing because I think people tend to connect with people they're interested in. And as I said, that question before, what was it about my profile that prompted you to connect, starts that conversation going. So how did I get the international connections? I look for groups where my target market hangs out, and I add value to those groups. And I actually go on there quite regularly. You don't have to go on there 5 out of 7 days. I've noticed now if I just put a post even once every 2 weeks, as long as it's a top post, like it'll get me, like I've just collected another 30 emails because I just offered a webinar that I ran 2 weeks ago, and I just said, hey guys, I know it's tough starting a coaching business. This is the International Coaching Federation group. It's got 35,000 members and they're worldwide. And I just sort of said, I know it's tough starting a coaching business. This is what I went through. Recently I ran a webinar. It's called the 5 Quick Fast Ways to Build the Business of Your Dreams. If you want a copy, let me know. Yes, please, let's do it. And it's like, do you want the lessons too? I've recorded 14 videos. They're all in a sequence. Yes, please, yes, please. So I've now got all these leads that are going to go through my whole launch through licensing, and that's how I'm going to get my first international licensing. Okay. So contribute to groups and forums is a must for exposure. And guess what? Then what happened when I started doing this is my profile used to get viewed 20 times per week. It went up to 80. So many people were just looking at who I was.
Please help us.
Respond to connections if they requested you. So there we go. How did you find out about me? So which I've covered up. And always ask to catch up for coffee if you think it would be beneficial. So obviously the person needs to be local if they're on LinkedIn. However, a coffee can happen over Skype as well. So let's have coffee over Skype, and then you connect and get up really early in the morning. And follow up. So if it's American guys, you got to get up in the morning. If it's Europe, you got to stay up late. Just a tip. I've gotten so used to them now. All right, so follow up is huge. Whenever I talk with people, I always reconnect with them again and again. If we've started a conversation, and I just keep that relationship going and just continue to follow up. YouTube. Okay, so it's not complicated to record videos. 90% of my videos are on the iPhone. I just need Stuart to hold it for me, or sometimes I even set it up on a little stand. What you can do then from your iPhone, if it's a perfect video, you just put it onto YouTube straight away. If not, you can actually edit it within, if you're a Mac user, on iMovie, if you're a PC user, on Windows Movie Maker. Very easy, very fast, and you can even add some special effects. So from tonight's videos, we'll have your little websites along the bottom, and it'll take me 5 minutes to put on. In the description, this is something I learned from a person who's recorded over 800 videos and has got them there, and it's got an amazing YouTube marketer. Always put your URL first and last, and when you're putting your URL, put the HTTP, www, so the whole thing. Because if people are interested in your video and you've said something that interests them, you want that to be the very first thing that they see there, so they click through. Name your videos by using keywords, so what would people look you up in, and put that in the description as well. So that's a bit of search engine optimization in video. Okay, there's 3 types of videos. So there's private, unlisted, and public videos. Public videos, the whole world can see them. Unlisted videos is where you have to provide people a link, and then they can go to it. So all my lessons that I've recorded, they're all under unlisted, and they're plugged into these landing pages, and then people get the email and go, here's your link, go watch your lesson. Otherwise, no one else can access it. So it's kind of like a separate area that can act almost like a membership area without having a membership area. And oftentimes, a lot of my videos for the Ultimate Business Edge licensees are actually uploaded to YouTube, because Ultimate Weight Loss has a separate membership area, but Ultimate Business Edge doesn't yet. So I've just kept them there so they can access them, and I only give them the document of the codes just to those people who've paid for the program. And private is that it's just for your own private viewing.
So is there a way to make it private, obviously?
Yeah, there's an option, and when you go into the video manager and you edit your video, then there's a drop down box that says, would you like it private, unlisted, or public? Yep. Forget about being perfect, just be funny and make mistakes. Yesterday I was banging my head against the wall. Donna's Ninja, her dog, goes through her videos all the time. People want to see that you're normal, okay? They don't want to see this rigid, stiff person who's trying to be perfect, because then you're going to put them off. Everyone wants to feel like you're just like them, so that's how you're going to grow your trust and your reputation. And what was it? I did a video on park slide, and I was using it as a metaphor. What did you watch it? Did you see it?
I've seen some of yours.
Yeah. So if you can think of something quirky, I was climbing up this park slide. I should have put it on here, and I was saying in business you can be up and then you can be down, and then I'm going down this slide and I'm trying to climb it up, and I go, this is easier for a 4-year-old. I mean, how does a 4-year-old do this? And all that sort of stuff. So about anything in business, I think perfection is what keeps us stuck. Okay, so I'm not a perfectionist, and a lot of my books probably have some mistakes, my manuals, and I always say those are for the anal people. So and I always call people on their perfectionism. Easily add special effects, so as I've mentioned before, and embed lots of video on your website. So all of my websites have at least 4 or 5 videos on them. So on the home page, on the contact us page, a really good idea is to not do an about us page. Do a contact us page, put your video at the top, and then you know, tell people your name, number, whatever, introduce yourself, and then point down to the box or get them to call you. So kind of incorporating both. I hate about us pages. It's not about you, it's about your customers. Okay, and then the products page or things like that. So these are my top 5 social media musts. Be consistent with your posts and practice patience in the early days. So give social media at least a very good 1 year to get going for yourself and constantly connect with people. Faye, you've got a while to go. What's your behaviour and perception, the perception that you're building with your audience? Focus on building relationships is no different from face-to-face networking. I like to call it virtual networking. Add value to people, mix up personal posts, value-adding posts and salesy posts. So 20% is your salesy post, 80% is your adding value, and if not less, it's probably 10%, I reckon. That's why we created the group that we created, and then I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we've got a different theme every day, and only Wednesday's offer day, whereas all the other days is when you recommend someone, you teach someone something, it's a fan page day. What else?
Recommendation day.
Quote day, goal day, all that kind of stuff, just to get you guys used to. Actually, if you practice on the page, doing all those things, and then go back to your own profile, that way you'll be delivering about the right amount of content mix. Okay? And the last thing is build your friends and connections consistently. So do go out there and connect actively with people. If you try to connect with too many people and they don't know you, you can get reported. So, and then cut off for about a month. So just be very careful. Do connect with people with mutual connections and those that you're seriously interested in.
Can I add one Stuart must,
Yes.
please? If you're a member of several different groups on Facebook, don't post the same thing, the exact same thing on your personal feed, your page, or on your business post, because if someone's following you, they will see the same post 3-4 times, and it just puts people off you really badly. They'll like, you can't even be original and have some original content. Mix it up a little bit. If you want to post on a certain topic of the day, that's fine. But make sure it isn't exactly the same post, because it really does. It just makes you look as though you don't have original content.
Because I've got 3 business pages for the 3 businesses, my personal profile and say a few groups that I'm a part of. And and a lot of people follow all of those. So if I posted one thing on all of them, cut and paste, it's like, it's annoying.
Can I ask a question on that though? Because I've got about four Facebook pages.
Yes.
So if I posted something on the body balance and it comes up on my personal page, does that mean everybody gets that as well?
No, it's just
No.
because you like that page. It's in your own newsfeed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you have to like the page to get the post.
correct.
And definitely, guys, just set up those templates. It doesn't take long. It doesn't actually have to be long. When
Where do you
someone
put them?
in your is a Word document.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somewhere on your computer.
Just thought there might have been something on Facebook.
Yeah. No. So somewhere on your computer, your very first one should be very short and friendly, and then you ask the other person about them, and just same as networking. Don't talk about yourself first. Ask the other person, and they're bound to ask you. So then you can have your second template ready, which explains a bit about you. So have a couple of one that's hey, how you going there, and then the long one. Yeah.
I've got a question on my Magnificent Business page. That's supposed to be for members only, and I found that a couple of times when I've gone and liked someone, then they're starting to post on my page. So how do I stop that?
Is this a fan page?
No.
A group?
I think it is. It's a page. It's
I
public.
think it's a group one.
No, the one that if it's the one I'm thinking of, is just a public page that anyone can access.
Okay.
We'll have a
You need
look
to
at
make
it.
it a
You need to make
I
a
can
private
help.
group then, so people have to apply to join.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So our group,
Then
the
they
ultimate.
still see my post though? They won't,
Only
they?
the
The members, only the members, yeah. So our group is public, so anyone can sort of look, and if they like us, they'll apply to join. But there's my licensee groups are private, and no one can access them. It's just for licensees.
It's just that one girl was posting every single day, so I
You
just
can block. You can block.
I
I'm pretty sure you can block
her,
people.
and then I didn't get them.
Okay. Maybe she got the message.
Yeah, I think she has.
All right. So most importantly, have lots of fun. I love it. It's just so much fun. It can become addictive, though, guys. So.
You like this?
Facebook widow.
So is Nick.
So So do segment. I know Donna says we do a lot of business through it, so we may get on it 2 or 3 times a day. However, if you segment a half an hour a day and focus on it, and sometimes even pre-schedule your post or plan what you're going to post, you can become more effective at it. If it starts interfering with your life, do something about it. Obviously, as you said, when outsourcing gets out of hand, then you seek out help. But yeah, it can be a very powerful marketing tool, and I've only just scratched the surface. And I do have a recommended book that you can get your hands on, and it's the 500 Social Media Marketing Tips. I haven't read it, but Stuart has, and he said it was amazing because it's just so many things about your profile and things like that. So get a copy of that. I'm sure you can also get it as a Kindle thing. Yes. Have you read it?
Yeah.
You read everything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, Pete, you also, obviously, Pete's got a business around social media, which is one of the things. Do you have any, hot tip that you might want to share? Just to end us on.
No pressure. Yeah, I think that a lot of people, especially when you're starting out in business and you go into social media, seem to focus on the wrong things and also have the wrong expectations that it's going to bring you a pot of gold. And it does take a long time. So what we do with our clients is we try and lock them into at least a 3-month contract to start off with. And what we do is we do it for them. We've got 3 packages. One is that you assist with the content. You basically, we manage it for you, but you provide the content. The middle one is more expensive. We provide some of the content, and the last one is the highest one, and we do everything for you. But we focus on mainly in SMEs, maybe that are medium, not startups, because sometimes the costs can get a bit out of hand. It's about expectations and what you can get from it, and also experimenting with different times of the day and focusing on your target market, because often we found that people tend to focus on what they want to get out of it rather than customers. So if your target market get to work and then log on and look at social media, we find that 9:30 in the morning is really, really good, because that's about the time that they do that, and 5:30 at night in Australia.
Cool.
That's when they do that, because they get home, park the car in the shed, get inside, turn their computer and look at social media.
Cool. Thank you. Nice. Bonus tip material there for you guys.
Unless you're a weirdo like me and you roll over in bed at 8 o'clock and you look at your phone and you start scrolling through Facebook and seeing what you missed overnight.
Emily?
Just with regards to content,
How do you know what to post?
yeah.
Again, testing and measuring and working out what is the. It's really good to, I guess, get people engaged through questions and giving people things to do. Like I believe that our group page has become way more interactive now that we've done the different days, and many people actually contributing there. So I'm definitely keeping that, and we might mix it up and change the different topics in a few weeks' time or whatever. But yeah, test and measure and see what comments and posts are getting more likes. And do some more of those and see how that goes. They're really, in marketing, that you just must test and measure the whole time. Yeah.
Actually, that's a very good point. With what people, when they go into social media for the first time, they mistake friending and liking over engagement. They're totally 2 different things. And once you have over, it's 100 fans, I think it is, no, 30 fans now, you start to get a feed of, when you do a post, how many people actually interacted with it and then did something, and it'll give you a value.
When you're talking about it, is that
Talking
right?
about it, and then there's another one where it goes viral. That is that they have forwarded to their group of friends that you have no association with, and they obviously liked it that much that they've forwarded on, and you get viral points for that. And therefore, once you keep doing that, you get more and more reach, which means it's more and more effective.
Yeah.
And one more tip, that really, really helps, is, it sounds really weird, but at the moment there's a flaw in Facebook design, and if you actually go in as your page and post something, and then go back out and become yourself, and then like it, the reach is 10 times greater. Okay, you get 8 to 10 times greater reach, and I've found with some test pages, it goes out to say 30 people, and it'll be 300 people in instinct.
So what do you do? I didn't
You
get
like
it.
the page as your individual profile. You like the post as your individual profile instead of your page
Okay,
like
so
everyone
say
else.
talking a weight loss coach, I go to Natasha Denman and like
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
like it,
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But be very careful because some of our clients have actually got caught up, and sometimes it's difficult to know which profile's which.
Uh-huh.
And you've gone back in and they said it didn't work. I said, well, that's because you're liking it as yourself, as your
Page.
page.
Yeah, so it'll
Run
say
these
ultimate
yourself.
weight loss
You've
coach.
got to
Why
go
would it
out.
almost that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to go up to the top,
Interesting.
click it, go back in.
Yeah, so
and
the
then like
top on the settings, it's like be as Natasha Denman or be as whatever
Yeah.
group
Yeah,
page.
but again, don't overdo it. Just do it. If you do it, say 2 out of 3 or 2 out of 5, sorry, 3 out of 5, something like that, it doesn't seem to mind.
Oh.
But it's a current flaw.
Ooh, all right.
So are you saying post something on your business page,
Yes.
log out,
Not long
Ch-
after
not
they
long
change
after.
it, use Facebook.
Just go
Change
change
who
the
you are.
yeah,
change who you are.
and then do you go back to your business page and like it, or you like it as,
Yes.
as
Yes.
on your
Yes,
business page?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
You go into the post as yourself then, and then like it.
So to go in as yourself, you've got to go in from your personal page.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Usually if you
Yeah.
search it. When you're in Facebook, you can be living in Facebook land as your business or as yourself.
Yes.
If you own your page, you can choose to be browsing through as your page, and it does look a little bit different. As in, because whatever your page likes will show in your feed rather than what you like. So you can be posting as that. So you make your post as your business, and then you change I'm functioning as, and you put Wendy, and you go back and you like yourself.
I don't like the business page much because you can't tag people in it.